Hello everybody, come on in. I got some love for you today. Love, love, love. And speaking of love, we want to definitely give the love to those dealing with wildfires. Like, I can't imagine what that's like. So we don't really have to do that here in Michigan. But yeah, so our hearts and prayers are for everybody out there that dealing with wildfires. Thinking of you for sure. And this climate thing, right? It's craziness. And I think it's I don't think I got what it's just bad. We get all these 100-year things that nature has its way of kind of resituating. But anyway, lots of love to all of you, and I kind of I love how Paul Blaze always says that. Lots of love to you all. So a little shout out to Paul Blaze, and love to him and Jennifer from the Potter's Cast. So if you guys ever need a podcast to listen to, go check out the Potter's Cast. So yeah. Oh, hello in New Zealand. Hello, Kathleen. Good afternoon. Utah. Hello, Utah. It's not climate, it's bad policy. Yeah. I know, right? No, it's yeah. Yeah, we go on and on and on about all those things, right? We'll keep that out. We're in the happy studio. That's why we come to the studio to just do fun things, right? So hopefully some fun things. So fun for today. Let's just get into it. Seville. Oh wow. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Hola. My daughter, which is the opposite, that's just making me think of Spanish, but Gretchen, our daughter Maris, she's in doing some mission work in Dominican Republic for a couple of weeks. So she is in shorts and hugging kids. So yeah, hola. Bien, bien. I don't know. I'm bad at Spanish and language. I'm bad at English, so yeah. Hello, Canada. Hello. So, exciting news here at GR Pottery Forms. It's the love season, right? So sharing the love. Guess what? We got new Wallie hearts. Woo, woo, woo. Yay. Yeah. So, yeah, these have great. I was talking with Jessica Clayshare, and I'm gonna do a live on Wednesday at Clayshare too. So come check it out there. So hello, Renee. Thanks for coming. And yeah, and so I was talking with Jessica, and she was super excited because she has some fun ideas in store to do with these Wallies. But yeah, hello UK. But Norway, hello Norway. Yeah, so thank you all for coming. So we have these Wallies, and I think they make great little dishes, and I think the hearts are a great shape for this type of form, right? It's yeah. So I'm gonna make some, give you a little heads up, and hopefully I'll get some finished so I can have some ready on Wednesday for Clayshare. So let's get to it. Hello, Pennsylvania. Any other things out there in Trek? Pittsburgh, PA, Erie. All right. I was there. I guess it wasn't the last winter, but the winter before, and you get a lot of snow in that part of the world, right? Thankfully, when I was there driving through to Clayscapes in New York, I drove through Erie, and yeah, it was snowing in Buffalo, but it was fairly clear in Erie. Yeah, so first off, compress. And yeah, we just need a slab. These slabs are quite thin. I didn't re-roll them, but I would probably do a little bit thicker slab when you're making these. I gotta start over here. I'm going fast. I don't want to just get to it. But I always start with a little bit thicker slab. It gives you a little more forgiveness as far as keeping the slab even. And yeah, so oh, hello Houston from the Gulf of America. Yeah. So I'm full of it today. I don't know. Trapped here, I guess, in the snowy north. But anyway, what you want to do here, maybe you can go to that top camera for the Facebook folks, YouTube folks, is you can see that we want about 1 inch, and maybe I can hold it up for everybody else here too. Just going to draw a line just to kind of give you an idea. So what I'm thinking about is making sure that I have a slab that has about a little over 1 inch border, and I would be generous with generous with that marking, right? You know, so it's a good amount of space to start these Wallie things. And basically, all you're thinking about when you're thinking about how much clay you need, if you just turn over your form, you need that much space at least to cover that cover this measurement here of the side of the form, right? So if you wanted to make a lip outside of that, then you would want to make it a little bigger, give you a little more clay. So now it's pretty close. So I'm gonna just eliminate this mark now, so that doesn't come into play in my lip if necessary. But yeah, so and then I'm just going to there's lots of ways you can deal with the surface of the clay, right? We really could put some red underglaze on there, or whatever color you want to put on there. You could put underglaze transfers on now. I think though you're going to eliminate some of that when it all gets squished. So in my mind, I'm going to put, with these particular forms, I am going to put the underglaze on afterwards. So then it's not going to get smushed and smeared and pushed around. Okay, so now I have it draped over top, and this is the point where a lot of people just want to quickly squish. This is where you need to slow down, and now what we want to do is just kind of gently kind of move that clay towards the form, right? Hello, Allentown, PA. What else here? Okay. Oh, yeah. So, and you want to gently, because you can see how we're kind of pulling this clay, or shifting that clay towards the form. And this is how, if you're having trouble with those edges being uneven, I would just slow down and kind of gently push the slab into place. Because what we're going to do is kind of maintain that thickness of the clay. And if you go really fast, you're going to squish it in areas that, some areas are going to be thin and thinner than others. I'm going to say that. So now I'm going to kind of work my way around that edge because it's kind of in place. So now I'm moving to a little firmer pressure, a little more medium pressure. And I'm going to still start at the bottom. I want to make sure there's no air pockets stuck in there, underneath there. But I want to kind of just move this clay around here. So, and two, it might be good, helpful, just to remove some of this clay. Maybe leave some space if you're going to make a lip. And I'm pretty sure Debbie already has from Dela Cruz Designs. She already has cutters these sizes because they're the same exact size as the other forms we make. The OG hearts. So again, it's kind of pushing that clay towards it, and then if I can, I move to my small little rib here, and I'm going to go ahead and compress, move this rib across the surface to one, kind of clean that surface to eliminate those canvas marks, but more importantly what I'm trying to do is compress that clay, pack that clay together so it'll hold the shape. And it's nice that those canvas marks are on there to show what you have given attention to and what you haven't. So let's see. So you can use one of those cutters. I'm just gonna try to cut a little bit on the outside edge here, just for, if you want to make the edge pointy, you can make it pointy. If you want to give this one area a little more pointiness, a little more attention, you can do that. And I like to not mess. My clay is really wet right now. It's fresh out of the bag. The fresher it is, the easier it is. But also, if the softer it is, the faster it will move in place. So be careful not to. Oh, Deb's here. Oh, good. And all right. So then I'm just going to turn this over, and I want to try to, if the clay is really wet, we got to try to release it as much as possible so it's not going to be stuck to that form. And that's why we now have these kind of grooved kind of finger pulls in here. And so you can use your fingers to kind of pull out the form. That's what these edges are for. And why it has the center part that you can pull it out much easier. So now that I got it kind of compacted, now I'm going to again just go back again and compress that edge again, because by removing it from the form out of there, it kind of made it kind of slump again. So I'm just trying to create memory for that clay to be the shape of this form. There we go. And then it'll pop right out. And so you can make adjustments if you want with the clay to give it a little bit more definition. Oh, look at that. That's fun. It's a good time to add stamps. And maybe if you want to turn it in a little bit, you can, but give it a little movement. But yeah, it gives you all these options. And now what I would do is let this sit off the side and get happy where I can then move to the next stage, which is then cleaning up these edges with a rasp and where is my edge rounding tool. Then I can go along those edges and kind of soften and round up those slabbed edges. All right, so as fun as that. So let's make another one here. So I guess I didn't talk about sizes. Maybe a quick stop and talk about that. We have going to have a 4-inch, a 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch, and you can buy all 4. And we actually have a little deal. We always do, right? For the openers, it'll be the 4-pack's already 10% off, and you're gonna get additional 10% off the 4-pack or individual sizes. So yeah. Amanda. Hello, Amanda. How are you? Looks like you got some snow. Debbie too. So yeah. I know a lot of the mid-region states are getting snow now, so you're not really used to. In Arkansas too, Sherry had some snow too. So yeah, we had some snow here. Snow in St. Louis. I'm just gonna put this back in here for a second. If I want to move it, because I want to use this to make another one. So, find a board here. And now I can just take this right on out. And I'm excited. I think I'll probably use this on Wednesday since it's Jessica designed underglaze transfer. But I love it's got some lovebirds kind of in the middle there, so I might do this on Wednesday night. But yeah, digging out of Kansas City. Oh, it's horrible. Oh man, yikes! I know it's we're so equipped for everything here that you know, 10 minutes after it snowed, it's all cleaned off the road. So it's I just drove in it for a bit. I had to go get some of these hearts and from the cutter. So these are fresh. They're fresh. You know, actually, we're not even going to start shipping these until Tuesday. So get your orders in. But we're not. Just so you know, it's going to be the end of the week by the first time you're going to get them. So I know this is always. I need this urgency to get things done. You know, so there's so many things to do. Valentine's is coming, right? So I'm just gonna. I had compressed the slab earlier, right? Made sure it's big enough. And now I'm gonna gently, softly, kind of push. Now here's a good spot where I'm gonna kind of push the clay towards the form. You know, so if you use a really aggressive approach to this, you might get into some problems. Happens a lot in regular life too, right? Easy, soft, controlled pressure. Not just giving it pressure, right? Let's see. Oh, web pottery. I'm not going to come to Alabama Clay Conference this year, unfortunately. I got to try to cut my schedule down a little bit, and so I've been to Alabama I don't know, 6 or 7 times. So I have another thing I'm going to go to. Yeah. If you put texture on the slab first and pull the clay towards the form like that, is it going to skewer the texture? Yes. I'll make the next one with texture. I like that idea. I can show you on the next one here. So what I would do to kind of combat that. So we got the medium pressure, and this is really consistent for all forms that I make. No matter if it's using a wheel attachment, whether it's a casserole, whether it's just the standard OG forms, I still use all 3 of these levels of compression. And I want to, make sure I compress combination of using my finger, and because sometimes you can't get to all the areas, so you can use your finger, but especially in the beginning stages, if you're just starting out, sometimes your finger has different levels of pressure because you're trying to control it and you don't have that much practice, so you get kind of these thin areas of clay and thick areas of clay. So if you want to try to help yourself even that out, use a little rib, and then you're forced to kind of have even pressure. It's just helps a little bit, so it limits you. Debbie's still out there. Debbie's on Instagram, I think, still. I don't know if you're on there still, Debbie, but I think you have some scalloped edge ones too, cutters, right? So right now would be a great time to use a cutter, and we could just cut down into the slab. Let's make this one have kind of a straight edge, kind of what you're probably, most of you are thinking that is the way to make these. But you really have lots of options. And then I'll make a textured one next. So we're just going to flip it over. Make sure this is removed. Because I think I think it works so much better if you keep releasing the form. Where if it gets stuck, the more and more that it sticks, the harder it's going to be to get it off. So let's just go one more time. Well, actually, we're going to do this. Yeah, and I would definitely, this is the nice thing about these particular things, is you can just keep flipping them over. So let's make this straight edge here. So it feels like you're going backwards by flipping it over and then flipping it back over again, but I think it's really helpful to kind of keep releasing that form from the clay. We need the form in there to kind of give it to hold its shape, but give it that support. And we can kind of smooth those edges. So here is the part where I finally got my Dirty Girls tool back here. So now I can take this and just go along the edge and just trim off this extra clay. So now we have, and this is where this is really going to show whether you have maintained even pressure or not. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to leave this have a kind of pointy end here. And here we go. You know, so maybe you want to sharpen up this edge. You know, so you can kind of cheat and make this edge look how you want it to look. And if it's too thin or too thick, I would just, and right now is a really difficult time because the clay is so flexible and moist, but definitely, you know, pick the stage that works best. But we can eventually add some more clay to here if you want to thicken up, or even add a little rim on the outside to give it some more decoration. But I don't have a very soft touch, so I just leave this alone and wait till it's stiffened up so it's got a little more resistance. And so here is your chance of, like, you know, do you grab onto the clay or do you use the board flip with? So I'm just going to use this form to kind of move it around, give it support. There we go. And so again, I'm just going to let this set up. It takes 2 to 4 hours. It depends on how dry how much humidity is in your studio space. But we can put those off together, and yeah, so. I use chocolate boxes too. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, chocolate boxes is probably a really good thing, right? Is and sometimes they have those extra parts that kind of make it difficult to drape it on there, but you could definitely turn these into, once you make them, turn them into chocolate. I love that. So many options of use then, right? So, can you scroll on the Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it's locked or...
Yeah, it was. There were
Okay, yeah.
before.
Okay, yeah, good, okay. Hello, everybody. Oh,
Sorry.
don't worry. Hi, Peggy. Yeah, it's snowing in Grand Rapids. Yes, yes, yes. It is snowy here. Yeah, I wanted to switch to a different board here, but now I guess I still need the bigger one. And I'm just gonna make all 4 sizes here just because. But now let's make something that has. Ooh, and this is a good example for maybe the top down for this one here too. You can. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a couple air bubbles in here.
There you go.
And you can see it probably definitely when I pop them. But if you see air bubbles in the clay, you definitely want to get those out. That's what this first stage of impression is good for. And don't, because it creates a gap, there's not enough clay there, so just bring some clay from the outside at the same moisture content and fill those back in. So yeah, so we talked about this one. I'm gonna use some texture. But first, ooh, yeah, see, there's another one that opened up. So fill it in. This is fresh out of the bag, so theoretically there shouldn't be any air bubbles in there, but sometimes there is. I don't really wedge the clay at all. I feel like I have not enough patience, but also I feel like when I wedge clay, I just add more air bubbles to it. So I don't know. I guess I gotta practice better. Yeah. All right. So texture. So what I'm gonna do here is make sure there's a good distance around, and then I'm just gonna mark with a kind of a blunt object, and then here I'm just going to use this modeling tool that I have right here, and it has this nice so now it creates that edge, and so I'm just going to add so there's texture in the bottom of the little dish. I got to clean this one out. It doesn't roll very good, but so now what I can do is I can add my texture on here. And I can take my rib and come back along, because this outside edge is, you don't really know how it's gonna go at a funny angle. It's gonna get squished. So it's just gonna cause problems for your design. And this is the easiest time to eliminate it because it's a flat slab of clay. Yeah, so hopefully this is answering your question here. So even if you wanted to use a rolling pin and roll in the texture, if you wanted to use other like hand rollers, you could roll them in, but then this kind of nice guide kind of now shows me where I should put the texture. And I might refine it a little bit on these edges with my finger. And if that line kind of bothers you, you could eliminate that. So this is how I would deal with texture. There's so many other ways. So maybe we could even, let's just fancy it up here a little bit more. Deb has these fun cutters, so let's just add this fun one here. When the clay's wet, you gotta be really careful. But we could add, this one says homemade cookies. What other ones we got here? And so yeah, maybe we can add in some other ones here. Woo! I didn't do a very good job with the Deb stamp, but I need to have probably some cornstarch to make that a little bit better impression. But hello, Tanya. Oh, is it snowing in Germany? And so now I can just reline it up where those textures were, right? Where my line was. And then do a flipperoni. It's Wild Bill likes to talk about. And sometimes it helps if you have a spacer, put underneath there. If these are not coming with drill holes in them, but if you wanted to add drill holes, you could easily add them. It doesn't really have to be in the center, but then you could put the Wallie, the spacer poles, I guess they're called, on there. And this one I think I'm going to do tall again. So remember, gentle, easy pressure. Get this clay in place. A little bit of snow, okay. That's right. You need to get working, Stacy. This is not stopping. You gotta start selling those pieces you're making. I'll pay for all new stuff. Yes. I'm sure people would want to buy it. Yep. And what type of good. Vicky has a good question. What type brand clay do you normally use? Well, I think the type of clay is more important. Obviously, brand is a critical decision, and I think that decision is more based on location, because there's so many good clays out there, right? So I would try to find clay that's really close to you, and where you can easily pick up clay if you need to, and that has the right price. But so I really like, for these I'm probably gonna glaze these with color. So I like to use a stoneware clay that has grog in it. And a lot of people don't like to use grog, but I think once you get used to it, it's better structurally and long term. It helps everything be more durable, like in your dishwasher and microwave. It creates that a little more durable. So if any functional work, I feel like it should, my opinion is it should have grog in it, but it just depends on how much you want it to last what temperature you're firing at. So a lot of factors. I'm just going to cut away a little bit of this clay just to help the clay get down a little further. And I always, again, just like the pressure that you put on it, just start to add gentle pressure, or in this case I'm talking about is just cut a little bit away. You can always cut more. It's not that much work to cut the clay, so it's definitely a thing you can do over and over again. Yeah, okay, yeah. Facebook, you have a little bit more of a better angle from time to time. We have more options of cameras for Facebook and also YouTube. But Instagram, it doesn't seem to work really well all together, so we kind of make Instagram separate. And so Delaney got a new camera, so been trying that out. So making adjustments. So last week, I'm sorry, we had a little fun tech day. So I give a lot of credit to Kevin over there. You know, it's and of course Delaney here, but dealing with tech stuff is not always enjoyable. Hello, Portugal. Yeah. Pensacola. All right. Would you put a foot on the largest one you have showing on the table? I think foot is a good discussion for any of these. And I probably will talk about it more in another class and more in depth, but Maris was making some fun bowl shapes the other day, and what we did was we made slabs that were wide and just kind of wrapped them around the outside and then added a bottom. And then you could really even inset the bottom so that you have a little bit of foot going around this outside edge. But these may be, you know, yeah, because this is a large surface, especially this large one, where you would want to put underglaze on here, probably. So it might help to have a foot on there. But I think in this case, I would let these slide as making it a choice of to have a foot or not a foot. But, you know, with all the other ones, I think a foot is critical. That's why there's never 100% rules, I guess, right? I sometimes talk about that with a foot, but really there's definitely options. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Somebody's suggesting anything over 7 inches, you should add a foot. Yeah. Because especially with slabs, sometimes you can get in problems with cracking because this the slab is really large and can expand and contract from the center of this piece to the outside of this piece, so the outside might cool faster than the inside. And if that happens and you don't have it compacted really well, it could create oh, that's what Jess says. Of course. Yeah. But yeah, we all have our own stipulations, right? I think foot is critical, and I think the one kind of measurement rule I go with a foot is if this dimension is over 8 inches is my number, then I want to put a center one in there as well, too, so to support the middle part. So, well, thanks. Yeah, this is a fun mug. This is I've been drinking out of this one a lot lately. I like how it's got this this curve, just a slight curve, so my lip fits right in there nicely. And these are actually slab built mugs. The handles is pulled, but Mark Williams, he's a Michigan artist, pretty local here, lives on near Lake Michigan. But he, yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, he has this fun slab technique. So now on this top view, if you're on Facebook, you'll see here you can see how, well, maybe you can't even see it that well, but there's a pretty good sized gap right here. So in these inner parts, you got to kind of move the clay a little bit, but all right, let's release it first before we get pushing around too much. And so my hope with these finger pulls is that you can kind of put your finger inside there, and then you can hold the clay in that area and kind of move it around. So that'll release it without it kind of flopping. Got it? So hopefully that works really well, and then you'll be able to pull it right out. So now let's kind of push this up a little bit. And if you're new, the other thing to know too is slab construction. I think this is a good pro tip, is try to avoid using moisture. Try to avoid using a sponge, because it really kind of can affect the slab in a way that creates a little more complications. So now we can remove this. I'm going to remove this one again. I'm gonna make a few more so we have some more finished pieces after this broadcast, but yeah. Little feet with shapes. Yeah, Lisa says cut little shapes to make it kind of cute, little feet. I would just be really cautious that if you're going to do that, to make sure, especially when you get to bigger ones, that they're only about 2 inches apart. Because otherwise you get a lot of slumping and movement with the clay, and it kind of flops, because it kind of creates this like tension point. So then the clay, it is more than normal that it wants to kind of move, but yeah. So now you I would try to shape it as much as you want in this beginning stage. Oh yeah. Yeah, so now you can see you can see it on the, I'm flipping around here. You can't quite see my little indentation in there, but then for Instagram you can kind of see like I have this texture in there. So it's amazing how the forms really kind of dilute that pressure. So whatever texture you have in there will remain. So if the texture is not in there, then you are putting way too much pressure on compressing the slab on there. So yeah, definitely strategic placement for sure. Yeah, right. You're on it, Lisa. Good work. So yeah. All right, let's make the big one here, and then get slabs. And the bigger you get, the little more technical and a little more important how you manipulate that clay becomes. So if you're just starting out, I would definitely stick to small forms. Like, get it down, kind of keep working your way up. And really, people like small stuff anyway better. You can sell little stuff way easier. So, you know, it's nice to make some museum style pieces, the big pieces, showstoppers, but not everybody's going to buy the showstoppers. So just focus on little stuff and get really good at the surface and your decisions of color, your decisions of texture. Your telling a story is super important, I think, with functional, more important than we think. That with functional ceramics, like showing your stuff with what you intend to put in there will help. It will help it immensely. Oh, Janet says you should have ordered some hearts. If we haven't shipped out the order, we can easily combine the orders to save you on the shipping. So we always our system kind of sets up where if there's orders, and sometimes we may not catch it, so it's sometimes helpful to let us know. But also 95% of the time we will combine them, and if there's a overage in shipping that you paid, we will refund you that shipping cost. So yeah. Or if you want to have them shipped separately, this is probably the more important thing. If you want them shipped separately, definitely let us know. So yeah. Sunshine Child. No, you're in the UK. That's right. You can have them shipped from here, but it'll definitely be a while before like Pot Place has them in the UK. So yeah, we can ship them. It's gonna be a little extra charge, but for going that far. But yeah, nice thing about these is you only need one of them, so you'd be set. And if you sold a bunch of them, that would cover your shipping cost. And right now they're on sale, so it's the best time. I like that texture on there. All right. Let's see if it's wide enough. Close. Close enough. Stacy from Sweet Rolling Pins. These are she makes really fun rolling pins. She's just kind of getting into the clay market in the last year or two. And yeah. So she made me this Michigan themed one. Oh no, I did upside down. I thought I was doing it the right. Oh no, maybe I'm good. Oh, look at that. Interesting. No, it is upside down. So, that's okay, because we have a rib. And we can start over. Just kind of know, though, that when you are when you roll out the clay with a texture roller here, you will get thin out the clay a little bit. So kind of make sure you're keeping the clay. Remember again that there we go. Oh, I did it. Ooh, right in the middle is. We have these fun stones in Michigan called Petoskey stones. And we'll put it right here. Now I can kind of strategically put what textures where. I'm going to draw with my line now. So as opposed to before where I pre-drew, now I'm going to put it on the slab where I want it to be. So now you can kind of see, you can kind of strategically locate the slab, you know, where you want that texture to be placed. Michigan shape form, there you go. I don't know if that's a great thing. I have avoided making the state shapes, you know, because there's enough of them, and definitely possible, but you know, like Michigan is a good example where it's fun to make. The lower peninsula makes a really nice shape of a dish, but then you're skipping out the other part of the state, which is the upper peninsula. So then it's sort of kind of so I don't know. You know what's really nice is and this is what partly why I haven't done it, is I think you get more opportunity to, and you may have seen some of these out there, is you cut the clay to the shape that you want and then drape it over a simple form, especially like the round ones are really nice to do that with. You know, the Michigan one might be a different style, but maybe a rectangle or a square rectangle maybe. So then you can kind of, it definitely gives you more options of detail too for the outside edge, where a form has to be kind of rounded and gives you some limitations for that shape when it's being cut. So that's kind of, I think it'd be a fun option, but there's a little bit of limitations that's created. Okay, so this time I'm gonna make a lip on the outside, more of a, I'm calling it kind of more of a ramekin style. And this is where I think works best with Debbie's cutters. Oh, Vicky's had trouble with platters cracking. Yeah, a foot really helps. It gives a lot of structure, and especially the larger you get, the more of those things become important, as we talked about earlier. Oh yeah, Missouri said. I bet you, Debbie, do you have state cutters? Maybe Debbie even has them. I bet she has Missouri. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Anything else? Sweet rolling pins, yes, yes, yes. You keep showing me things, gonna go broke. That's right. You gotta start putting those to work. This is my charge to you is make stuff with the stuff you already have, so that you can buy new stuff. Right? Just create a pottery buying account, because it's fun to buy all the stuff, but you know, it gets to be a point where now you're just collecting a whole bunch of forms, right? So make sure you have a purpose. Like I think it's, I don't want to sell to you so you have a whole big collection. I want to sell to you so that you can enjoy your studio time and enjoy what you are making and what you're giving to people, you know, right? So yeah. So and yeah, so there's all that, right? Because unfortunately, I'm going to keep making new things every couple of months. I'm going to have new stuff, so I will make you go broke. So you got to get to work, start putting those things to use. Get in that studio. It's winter. the best time to be there. Yeah, it'd be fun to make some little heart containers, depending on what you want to do. Maybe you can make little heart containers for a jewelry shop. Somebody that's gonna get engaged, they could buy this nice, cute little heart box. And if you own a studio, you could do classes, having people come in and make little engagement boxes, right? I actually made one for Gretchen when we got engaged. It wasn't a heart, it was this little box. I thought it was kind of fun to put it in there, but I don't know if I'm curious if that's even still around. But I'm sure it was one of those things where I guess I did have a plan when it was going to happen. But I'm sure it was like Friday night, and then like Wednesday morning, I'm like, oh, I should make a box. So probably didn't get fired in time. But and it was really, Gretchen didn't really care. She was happy just to have the ring, right? So hopefully. At least then. Well, I don't even know about then. Oh no! What am I gonna do with this guy? Yeah. So. Yes. Oh, and one thing I was gonna say too, I don't think this came up yet, but if you are gonna be at Claycon West, I'm gonna have a small amount of these hearts with me. Small amount being like 12, 20 maybe of some things. So if you can wait till next week, actually that might be the quickest people get them is at Claycon West, because the other ones probably will maybe ship then. Oh, somebody just asked. It is. Yeah, CCW. Yes, so I will have them. A few. Yes. Yeah, so it's hopefully the forms also, they don't take up a lot of storage space, and you can reuse them over and over and over again, right? All right. I probably have Debbie, I'm bad. Oh no, those are trees. I feel like I have a heart cutter from Deb, but I don't. So I might, but I just didn't look hard enough. Need to get one. I'm just gonna make a scalloped edge on this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Debbie has these really nice ones that have this fun scallop on there. So if you don't want to deal with deciding how to do that, and just debating on, you could easily add a foot on there, and I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to because I might use this as a baking dish. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? We've talked about that a lot here, making brownies or cookies inside of the woo-wee little ramekins. Ramekin. Ooh, I like the shape of this heart too. Oops, I'm going to try to lift it up even more here. So it's kind of fun to add that scalloped edge. And if you just cut it, then they're all a little bit different, right? So I'm going to gently kind of lift up, try to push against the wood. And then with these bigger pieces, it's really helpful to have the two boards to then be able to flip it. And these boards, you know, they do get a little, you can see the bottom one, it has kind of has a bow to it. They do kind of warp a little bit, but you got to just keep flipping them and putting heavy things on there when they're drying to keep them straight. But I think it's really beneficial still to have this thin board so that they're lighter, and then you can still release the clay from there. So now we're going to kind of gently remove this clay here. Ooh. Oh, here's another interesting thing. I will warn you if this bothers you. A lot of times, yeah, as you go forward, you're good. If you make your very first form that you use with a pattern, it might just keep that pattern in the form. It's interesting in how it is. So I would highly recommend, if you don't like that pattern in there, to make your first one with no pattern. That's a little pro tip. So just do one without a pattern first to kind of, in a sense, season the form, so that it all then, from then on, will then absorb thing. It won't absorb things the same. It seems like that first time it's a little more absorbent, and it will kind of gather even those texture marks. So. Now the fun thing about having kind of scallops on here is we can then just kind of lift these up. And it doesn't see how uneven your edges are. So if you are having problems with those edges, which is very common, put some scallops in there. Make that edge wavy. Make it a planned waviness. There we go. So, I hope you enjoy these new forms, and I hope it doesn't break your bank. But we have a little deal. You can get all four, or you can get individuals. And these, again, like I was saying, will ship on probably starting Tuesday. So we don't, they're all cut. I went and saw them today, all the little babies. But we got to give them a little love and put them in some wrapping. So they will be ready to ship on Tuesday. Is the first time that they'll be shipped out. So. And like I said, I did ship some out already to Claycon West, some of the samples that I received. And so, oh yeah, you can see here's the texture on that other form that I did too. I bet you'll keep it on there. So yes, they're 1 inch thick. Sizes are 10 inch, 8 inch, 6 inch, and 4 inch. So yes. Sale will go on through the weekend. So Sunday night, it's going to shut off. So yes. So if you want a little deal, hello Sweden, hope you're well. And yeah, so oh, the little set of the little small boards, yeah. Yes, all right. Well, all right, everybody. Again, lots of love to those in affected wildfire areas, and anybody else kind of dealing with kind of trauma. Special love to you. So get in that studio and enjoy your time there. Make fun things and have fun doing it, and that'll make you make fun things. So well, happy weekend, and we'll see you again soon.